Okay, folks, welcome to Best Stock Charts for the coming week. Let's begin with the economic data that was released last week. I really want to focus on only one number. That was retail sales. Retail sales came in with a beat last week, a significant beat. And versus the prior period, a big rise in retail sales. There's one problem. This is what CNBC didn't want to talk about. And that was the driver of retail sales. What was it? What made retail sales blow through the roof last week? Gasoline. This is what they don't want to talk about. There is a lot of inflation in the system. They don't want to admit it. Gasoline is on a tear. And we made a new weekly high last week, a bullish key reversal. And it appears as though we are moving higher. Now, when you add rising interest rates and inflation, and if you didn't notice last week, the 10-year yield made a new high for 2018. When you add that along with inflation, it does not make for a good environment for stocks. Think about it. Last week and the week before, you had good earnings that were reported. What happened, though? Those companies were sold off. So the markets are sending us a signal. And we'll talk about our strategy and how we plan to adjust our strategy to profit from this reality on the week ahead commentary coming out later today. So watch commodities, watch necessities like gasoline. They are moving higher. Which brings us to our focus stocks for the coming week. If you believe that gasoline is moving higher, why not own some Valero? I spoke about Valero a few weeks ago. And you can see that we are skyrocketing, higher lows. Beautiful setup here. I think that we're moving higher. We are a bit oversold relative to the third standard deviation Bollinger Band on a weekly basis. Expect a pullback here. That doesn't mean we can't move higher next week. I just don't believe, and pardon the pun here, I'm going to do this, I don't believe there's much fuel in the tank, ha, before we get a pullback and a stair-step higher. I think that any pullback is to be bought on Valero. Members will talk more about Valero on the week ahead commentary. Again, coming out later today. Silver. I love commodities. Commodities are breaking out. Silver, very close to a breakout on a weekly basis, and we own it. We were up. We own a leveraged ETF, so we were up 3 times the SLV on our position. RSI rising and breaking out. Let's update the chart. Let's illustrate this. And here you have it. Higher lows and higher highs on silver. Very close to a breakout. Volume outstanding for 3 consecutive weeks. Rising up volume. Exactly what you want to see. And the past 2 weeks of above average volume. Love it. Gold. I think that gold is extraordinarily manipulated through the futures market. But I think we're at the verge of traders being unable to keep a lid on the price of gold. Why do they want to keep it down? It's because if gold begins to rally, the conversation goes from a very strong economy to why is gold rallying? Because when gold is rallying, it means that you're seeing inflation in the system. All is not well because people are investing in gold for safety. It's deemed to be a safe haven. So while we closed down last week, I don't think it's going to stay down. We're going to continue to consolidate, but there will be an event which will act as the catalyst for gold to break out. So we'll continue watching. I want to buy the breakout. We're already long of the gold mining stocks using a leveraged ETF. I want to add more to that position, but I will not do it until we see a breakout. So members, more to come on gold and silver later on today on the week ahead commentary. Energy. We've been talking about energy. As goes oil, so goes energy, and energy is ripping higher, which is why we like the ERX, but we're too close to resistance. We need a breakout in the close above 3670 before we get involved. But energy looking good, volume outstanding, but we're a bit extended here. Watch for either a pullback, a pause that refreshes, or a breakout in the close above 3670. RSI hooking up, Stokes hooking up, all looking good. Sonesta Technologies, ST, a new weekly high last week, and we closed there. But we closed at the highs of the week. A bit of a concern. Volume for the past 2 weeks is very light. So while I like the shares, I think we're going to get a rollover here on Stokes and a higher low. And that would be a good thing. So it remains a watch, and we'll look to build a position in the coming days. MDU Resources. I spoke about this one the week before last, I believe. RSI has already broken out. It's pulling back to retest support, and it's holding. We had a bearish key reversal last week, which some might view as negative. I don't. I think we're going to pull back, retest support here, much as what we're doing on RSI, and then we will break out. Volume to the downside, very light, exactly what you want to see. On a pullback, looking good. Members, more to come on the week ahead commentary. Las Vegas Sands. We spoke about this one a couple of weeks ago. I said it would probably break out. We have broken out. We closed off the highs of the week, though, last week. Watch your Stokes. Look for a pullback and a higher low, much as what I just mentioned on ST, Sonesta Technologies. That's what we want to see. A higher low put in and then a breakout on Stokes. Volume to the upside has been below average and was lighter than the prior week last week, which sets the stage for a consolidation week next week. I am not overly bullish on Las Vegas Sands early next week, perhaps later in the week or the following week. Members, more to come on strategy using the daily chart. We did break out on RSI last week, so we have an indicator confirming price performance. I don't like the fact that we closed off the highs of the week. That is a bit of a concern, as well as volume being weak. Kirby Corp, another energy play. We spoke about this one last week and the week prior. We expected it to move higher. It did move higher, but we closed off the highs of the week. So expect a pullback this coming week. Stokes are rising. RSI is rising. Good stuff. Volume outstanding last week. Let's update Ultimate Oscillator. No breakout on Ultimate Oscillator. So Ultimate Oscillator is actually diverging. So we're breaking out, or we have broken out for a few weeks now on KEX, yet Ultimate Oscillator continues to put in lower highs. So that's a concern. So again, given the topping action here, I would expect a pullback on KEX. And on that pullback, assuming that oil holds up, we would want to buy KEX. Next chart up, Kansas City Southern. Believe it or not, last week the transports broke out. Members, we're going to talk more about the transports and the overall health of the markets on the week ahead commentary. Again, coming out later on today. And KSU looks poised for a breakout. It's really in a very, very tight consolidation. Volume last week was very strong. Ultimate Oscillator really holding support at the 50 level. Cup handle formation on MACD. Really an outstanding chart here with an inverted head and shoulders setup. Left shoulder, actually you have two here. Macro, left shoulder, another left shoulder, and the head here. Micro, which we've already broken out of. Here's the neckline. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And here's the neckline for that inverted head and shoulder setup. So we are looking very good on KSU. So members, more to come here using the daily charts. TCP Partners, this is a monthly chart. Now we booked profits not once but twice on TCP, and we're looking to get involved yet again. The problem for me with this stock is I think we're going down yet again. Why? The yield is 11.66%. And you may be saying that's a great thing. Why wouldn't you love that? The reason why I don't love it is because I don't think that it is sustainable. I think that it's in jeopardy. And on that news event, if and when they do cut it, I think the stock will drop. I believe that it will be a bad reaction by the market, an incorrect reaction, and we will look to step in and buy the shares at support levels on TCP. So I would avoid right now, but it is on our radar screen to get long once again. Workday. We booked profits on Workday last week. We booked a really nice scalp trade. If you want me to do a post-trade review video on it, just leave a comment below on YouTube or leave a comment in the comment section on the website. Last week, we broke out above resistance and closed there. Now, we closed off the highs of the week, which is a bit of a concern. Stokes are hooking up. RSI is hooking up. So we'll probably bounce around here, retest the support level for the next week or so, and that's a good thing. So Workday is a watch. Canada Goose Holdings, another watch stock. It broke out last week out of this triangle formation. We closed off the highs of the week. Beautiful double bottom setup on Stokes, and we are breaking out. RSI rising. A really nice chart here on a weekly basis. Members, we're going to go over all these charts on a more granular view using daily and intraday charts on the week ahead commentary coming out later today. Now, I am not a bull on this market. I think that this market is coming under a lot of pressure. It is not rallying on earnings, and we expected it to sell off last week, off the highs of the week, and it did so on Friday. It seems as though Friday is a sell the news day because you never know what's going to happen after the market closes on a Friday nowadays. Who are we going to bomb? What tariffs are we going to impose, or who's going to impose tariffs on us? Things are getting a little bit crazy out there, especially in Washington, D.C. Who's going to jail? That's what I want to know. Somebody really needs to go to jail in Washington. I digress. That is for stock charts today, where I get a little bit more political. SOXS, we're looking to short the semiconductor sector because the semis, weekly chart of the semis, flashed a bearish key reversal, not even just a bearish key reversal, but a bearish engulfing of the prior week's up week. Very bearish stuff. So we have Stokes, which are breaking down, RSI, which is breaking down. Volume rose dramatically last week. So you saw institutional distribution of the semis last week. And I'm telling you right now, if we see a break below, and this doesn't go for the semis, this goes for the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones as well. If we break down below the February lows, it's all over. Bear market has begun. So watch for a break below the February lows. Getting back to the SOXS. Now, we broke out on the SOXS back here during the week of March the 19th. We've consolidated. Last week, we had a bullish key reversal. We did not close above resistance, but we're very close. We want to buy the breakout. Volume last week, outstanding. Consistent with the down volume on the SMH. Stokes are rising. RSI is rising. Momentum is at its back. I like the setup here. Members, more to come on the week ahead commentary coming out later today. And that's it for this week, folks. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, click that bell, and you'll get notified of new videos. If you're watching this on the website, enter your email address. We hate spam too. You'll not be spammed. And we'll send you out a few trade tutorials as well as best stock charts each week. If you're watching this on StockTwits, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, sign up for our Facebook group. Follow me on all those social media platforms. And everybody enjoy the remainder of your weekend and have a profitable trading week. Be well.